Is that it up there? Is this it?
I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to find out. Whoa.
Holy shit, dude. Why does this always turn sexual?
Blue skies from the bedroom.
Go eat a dick parfait.
Give it to me, baby. Poor Marilyn Manson, dude. You could say that.
Prolonged eye contact. With your penis.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. Fuck Fox News, though.
Fuck you.
Dead and injured Dober-Goats everywhere.
Anyways.
What is this?
Old people.
No. Holy shit. Shout out.
We're sponsored by Sprite.
Huh? What was that? Repeat yourself? We have the technology to eat the perfect ass. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Blue Skies from the Basement. My name is Austin. Joining me, as always, is my best friend, the Savage Dad himself, Wes.
What's up, guys?
How are you doing, Wes? What's going on with you, man?
Dude, fucking rough day.
Rough day?
Yeah, I mean, this morning started out good. I had my coffee and everything, but then, just as the day progressed, the kids got worse and worse, and it was hard.
Oh, yeah. I worked, all day yesterday. Literally all day. I left work for an hour, walked over to McDonald's, got some food, sat in my car and ate it, and then went back to work and had to pretty damn near, close. So I, almost opened and closed. I left, 45 minutes before we closed or something like that.
Right.
So that was super shitty. And then made probably not the best decision to go to my wife's mom's house where she was at.
That's going in the compilation, by the way.
Sweet.
Mark the burp.
Yes. Went over there and had some beers and shit. And then had to be back up this morning at 9 a.m. I didn't even get home till 1:30 or something like that.
Dude.
So, yeah, I kind of screwed myself over in that sense.
What are you doing?
That probably wasn't the best decision to do,
Yeah.
whatever. But by the time, halfway through work, man, my, left foot started to hurt. So I had to, stand on my right foot, and then that one started to hurt. But, I couldn't go back to my left foot because my left foot just hurt.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of shitty.
Are you sore from skating the other day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's killing
for
me,
sure.
dude. My legs don't work.
My lower back, dude, is on fire.
Yeah.
On fire. I need somebody to I need a big person to lift me up, I cross my arms and they come behind me and then they just
the bounce thing.
stick their dick up my butt. I mean, they just bounce me,
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah.
Way off.
So I need somebody to do that. I should have asked Kevin to do that. Fuck, man.
Kevin.
One of the guys I work with. He's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll ever come on. If he ever comes on, man, we'll talk about the MMA and fighting and shit like that.
Okay, I'll be way out of my depth for that one, but it'll be fun.
Well, I have more fucking experience than you do with that.
Sports.
Yeah, I guess. Man, my fucking manager was telling me that gaming is not sports. They shouldn't call it sports, or ESPN shouldn't have it on.
That's why it's called esports. It's not sports.
Yeah, I feel it, but cause they ESPN took off the Apex tournament that they were going to host after all the
Fortnite shit.
No, after the shootings in El Paso and in
yeah, that makes sense.
Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
They took it off for fear of because people have been saying that video games have caused violence.
Yep.
What is really funny, and I've seen this meme a few times, where they were actually most video games are based off of in real life wars, so technically violence causes video games.
It drives me nuts that people don't respect video games the same way they respect team sports, because football is basically just simulated war. That's how it started. Was they needed a way for people to play war games without getting hurt, so they started these at Yale and Harvard, and that's how football got started. It was just skirmishing basically. But video games are violent and bad for society.
Video games are what causes mass shootings is technically what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then also gay people, what else was it? There was the video games.
I got this one. I'll pull her up.
Okay.
It was an Ohio congresswoman or a senator that
yeah.
said this shit. She was
Yeah.
blaming LGBT trans community,
Yes.
saying that like the lack of Christian family values is why there's so many shootings happening. It was like maybe it's the gun culture. Like, maybe it's that we have more guns than we have Americans. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Man, did you listen? You probably did. The Bernie Sanders and Joe Rogan
I did.
episode.
I listened to it the second it came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I just listened to it the other day, but it was funny because even, Joe asked him like what we should do and he didn't have a fucking answer. And
He tried his best though.
He did, but nobody really has an answer to this. And it's weird because for me, I don't feel like banning weapons is going to change anything, especially considering the fact that there is now when they mean a ban, do they mean like banning the construction of weapons? Like we can't build weapons anymore?
It depends on the type of ban. So there's different types of bans that they're talking about implementing. So like Australia did the full like gun rebuy program. Like the government, you go drop off your guns. They give you some money for it. It's really hard to even get like a handgun out there unless it's for like hunting reasons, and then you have to go through all these permits and licenses and tests to be able to do that.
So the same way that you would have to get a car.
Yeah, essentially. And then there's like a soft ban where you would ban all military grade weaponry, so like ARs and shit like that, bump stocks, which they've tried to do after like the Las Vegas shooting. They tried to ban bump stocks, but then that got reversed almost immediately by a Republican vote because we're a Republican-controlled Senate and House right now.
I mean, I do feel like if they wanted to go that route and kind of ban weapons, then just have it more accessible for places that you could go to shoot them for those people that want to shoot them, or like you can own them but you have to keep them at this like separate building, you know, and so you have complete access to that like whenever you want, like let's say like 24/7 you can go there like 2 a.m., as long as you're not drunk or on drugs or whatever, like the person behind the counter doesn't think that you're like out of your mind in some way, that you could go there and just shoot your guns and they'd be locked in a safe and you could get to them whenever you wanted to.
All the ammo stays there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're like, okay, well, what if, the government tries to come after us and then all my guns are locked up in this building and they know where it's at and they can pretty much just like lock the building down and then I have no way of protecting myself.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel like a full ban would be necessary.
That's the rights version of the argument that you hear all the time is like, it's the Second Amendment argument of like, we have a right to form militias in case we need to fight back against a government or our government.
Yeah,
the problem with that is just like modern technology. We're not going to rise up against drones,
Okay, this is
fucked.
exactly where I was going to go with it. I was like, it doesn't matter what fucking machine gun or AR that you have or sniper rifle or whatever, the drone is going to take you out before you even have a chance to do anything. If they really wanted to, like, they could just drone strike the fuck out of people, and then you're like, fuck this, I'm going into my bunker.
Yeah, if it turns into an uprising, we stand very little chance against our own military. So I don't see why that's an argument.
This is the whole thing with Area 51. Like, are you really going to storm Area 51 against the U.S. military?
And why would you tell them 2 months beforehand that that's what you're going to do? Like, if there's going to be aliens there, you want to show up unannounced, because otherwise you just gave them 2 months to, like, move the aliens somewhere else.
Yeah, but how do you get that many people to like know about it without like posting it all over social media? You know what I mean?
You got to do it on something that's like a little more underground, like an encrypted mail chat server or something like that. You could be smarter about it for sure. You'd get less people, but it'd be like a underground grassroots type thing.
I mean, if we all stormed Area 51, they can't stop us all.
Well, they can't kill us all.
I mean, technically, they can.
I mean, they could, but that'd be a bad look.
They can try.
They can,
No. Because there was a general already that was like, look, there's fucking signs posted up. He's like, if you fucking try and get into Area 51, we're gonna shoot you.
That's what I was gonna say, is like the head lady that runs the base there was like, she put out a tweet that was like, hey, you guys, this is dumb. Like, you're gonna get shot because that we have signs posted that will use lethal force if you get too close. So don't get too close. I was like, I don't know.
Maybe just quit lying to us. Fuck.
Yeah, show us them aliens.
Did you? I love that one part where Joe was like, "So if you find out about aliens, are you gonna tell us? Like, are you gonna tell the people?" And
Bernie said he would.
I'm voting for Bernie just for that.
He had me convinced about halfway through the episode, but the alien thing was a bonus.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Then the one guy with giving you $1,000 every month.
Oh, Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
He's all about like the robot uprising and artificial intelligence is our main worry, and then the universal basic income thing, which is cool. I like that. Bernie has a similar platform. It's just about where are they going to get the money to give everybody $1,000 every month. And Bernie's plan for that I thought was kind of smart, where it's a Wall Street tax, where these people who trade these stocks at high volume just put a small tax on every trade, and it'd be like cents per trade, but
It
all
would
the
not
trading that's
affect them
happening
at all.
yeah, it wouldn't affect the rich people who are doing it, and all the trades that are happening in mass volume every day would more than make up the amount of money that you need to give every American $1,000 every month.
And that blows my mind. Anyway, okay, going back to our main point about video games causing gun violence, and then
I've got that comment that fucking lady made too. State Representative Candace Keller.
give it to me, baby.
She complained about Democrats playing the blame game after every mass shooting. Why not place the blame where it belongs?
Why not place the blame where it belongs?
This is long as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna give you the cliff notes here.
Nah,
But basically, you want me to do the whole thing?
Yes, get
Okay.
into it, please. Because I have not read the full thing.
This is her full tweet.
I saw like the Facebook scrolling through, and I was like, I can't look at this right now
It was
because
a Facebook post. That's right.
I'm gonna throw my fucking phone right now. Like just seeing the little Facebook post on it, and I was like, I'm gonna throw my phone. This shit's gonna piss me off.
I had a very visceral reaction when I saw this. It was like shut off the computer. Like
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so the breakdown of the traditional American family. In parentheses, thank you, transgender homosexual marriage and drag queen advocates. In parentheses. Fatherlessness, a subject no one discusses or believes is relevant. The ignoring of violent video games. The relaxing of laws against criminals. Open borders. So she's got to bring immigration in there, the whole wall thing. She's got to throw that in just to fuck with us. The acceptance of recreational marijuana. Failed school policies. Hello, parents who defend misbehaving students. Disrespect to law enforcement. Thanks, Obama. Hatred of our veterans.
She just had to fucking throw the thanks Obama in there too. Like this is my whole point. Every person that like supports Trump just immediately goes back to Obama. Like no other president did anything wrong. It's all Obama's fault.
You can't go back Bush or any farther and blame them for anything. It's all Obama's fault.
Obama did 9/11. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just making sure you knew that.
True facts right there.
All right.
So thank you, Obama. Hatred of our veterans. She's on this thank you run where after everything she says, she puts in parentheses, thank you, whoever she blames for this. So hatred of our veterans. And she's, thank you, professional athletes who hate our flag and national anthem.
So thank you,
People
Colin
kneeling.
Kaepernick, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the whole kneeling thing, that's hatred of our veterans.
Oh, sorry. And then the one lady on the U.S. women's soccer team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
Colin
forget her name. She's
Kaepernick
awesome,
and
though.
her, she's like specifically calling them out without calling them out.
Yeah.
Because they're like the lead people of.
She's basically just going through this like checklist of everything that Trump has gone against and getting her brownie points in Trump's favor just by putting this shit out there. She's totally signaling which side she's on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could not tell. Could not tell. Is she a Trump supporter?
I think so.
You think?
I mean, let me get to the end of this and then we'll decide there. But
all right. Go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna give her the benefit of the doubt till I'm done.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry. I didn't mean to put a wall up in front of you. My bad.
You built that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Did you have a GoFundMe for that?
No, I put up a hot chocolate stand in the middle of Texas.
Do you have the permit? Otherwise, you and your children are getting sued.
You know what? Did that kid have a fucking permit?
I don't think so.
What a fucking piece.
If it was a black kid and some white lady, we know the cops are getting called. Because they're selling water. That's way off topic. Anyway, that's
keep
from like
going.
months ago. Yeah, so athletes who hate our flag and national anthem, the Democratic Congress, many members who are open openly anti-Semitic. So she's talking about Ilhan Omar there, just going in with the more anti-Muslim hatred. The culture, which totally ignores the importance of God and the church until they elect a president, which that's a whole other conversation. Just we'll leave that be. State office holders who have no interest whatsoever in learning about our Constitution and the Second Amendment, and snowflakes who can't accept a duly elected president. That's who's to blame for the two most recent shootings. All those people. Mostly Obama.
I was gonna say the only thing that I got from that it was Obama's fault.
Obama, and then all the current like hot button topics that are in the news lately. Colin Kaepernick, the immigration, the border wall, Ilhan Omar, and the new Democratic leaders that are scaring the Republicans.
She doesn't think that it has anything to do with like white supremacy.
No. Did you see Tucker Carlson on Fox News? This was fuck Fox News, just right off the top here.
No, I don't think I did.
I'll play the clip for you here in a little bit, but Tucker Carlson went on this whole rant about how white nationalism and white supremacy is a complete myth and that it's totally made up.
If I could bang my head on this table right now, I would.
Remember when I showed you that video of Jon Stewart from The Daily Show back in the day talking to Tucker Carlson?
Yes, I do.
It was like maybe 15 years ago now.
Yeah, I do.
That show where basically the whole thing was just them yelling at each other and nobody gets their point across. And then you have Jon Stewart on like, stop, this is bad for democracy.
Yeah.
So from that point where like Tucker Carlson was kind of a reasonable shithead, now he's just gone full like white nationalism is fake in the span of 15 years. Just ignoring the history of our country completely.
Because honestly, I think like with the fucking Trump rally where he was like, and so what do we do with like the immigrants that are invading our country? And somebody in the background goes, shoot them. And then they all like kind of laugh or whatever. And then this dude literally in his manifesto was like, these immigrants that are invading us. And of course he's in Texas where it's like one of the major fucking points where immigrants are coming in, well, specifically Mexicans, because I feel like it gets kind of lost in translation that immigrants is more than just Mexicans, but that is who I feel that he was targeting was Mexican, because that's who we're building the wall for, right?
That's been the whole rhetoric from the start, is that Mexicans are criminals and rapists and but Trump loves the Mexicans that work at the Trump Tower and make them his taco bowls. Those are good Mexicans.
I fucking bet. Fucking bet, dude. But my whole point is that they feel that they're justified now because of our president. And I'm not trying to it kind of fucks with me because I do see some of the things that Trump does and I'm like some of the shit that he like votes in is like good, and then this shit happens and I'm like, you are the cause of this. The whole thing with Make America Great Again and how it went to Make America White Again, and then he didn't address that. Like, you don't address that. Like, if you were actually about that, or if you didn't agree with that, you would have nipped that shit in the ass real fucking quick and been like, no, that's not what it is. We should be equal to everybody. Everybody deserves their chance here as long as they come into the country legally, which I totally agree with. I think that we do have an issue with people coming in illegally, and then, I mean, if they're seeking asylum, then that's fine, and we can only take in so many people. We already have people here. Like, I do feel that there should, be laws in place, but if you go into a fucking Walmart and shoot a whole bunch of people that are legal fucking citizens that have been living here doing the same shit that you were trying to do and just live a great fucking life, what the fuck did you accomplish?
Yeah. And
nothing.
Was it that one where he killed his trans brother, or was that the Dayton one?
I don't know, actually. I think it might have been.
One of the shooters killed his own family member.
No shit.
Yeah. I was curious if that was the immigration related one, because the Dayton one, the right jumped on that real quick, where they were saying like that guy was a Hillary supporter, and he was gonna vote for Bernie, and he total leftist, had a bunch of stuff on his Facebook about.
Yeah.
So that one was really confusing, but it just gave the right the ammunition to say like, look, the left is crazy too, and it's not just white supremacy; it's video games are the problem. It's on both sides.
Fucking God.
It's like, no, some people are just insane. and it doesn't matter what political affiliation they have. It's more about the act and what drove them there, and then also remembering the people who died or were injured. And why do we have to make it about the politics immediately right after it happens?
That is a good point. Like, why is it always just about politics at the moment that this like mass shooting happens? Like, oh, this dude was a hard left, or that just
And then you got
mm-mm.
Tucker Carlson.
Please.
Oh, this is MSNBC. Hold on, let me find the right one. But even them just deflecting it every time, where since Columbine, they've always pointed the finger at something else, whether it be video games or Marilyn Manson or whatever. You know, like
Poor Marilyn Manson, dude.
it's never about the actual issue at hand or the people who lost their lives or the heroes that were involved.
Because
So-
it's not about that. It's about Obama and Marilyn Manson, okay? These are the real problems, and they need to be taken care of.
I mean, Obama's not even fucking in office anymore, so I think
And it's still his fault.
step one taken care of.
It is still his fucking fault. I don't know how, but it is.
The whole thing is a lie. If you were to assemble a list, a hierarchy of concerns, of problems this country faces, where would white supremacy be on the list? Right up there with Russia, probably. It's actually not a real problem in America. The combined membership of every white supremacist organization in this country, would they be able to fit inside a college football stadium? White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax. Just like the Russia hoax. It's a conspiracy theory used to divide the country and keep a hold on power. That's exactly what's going on. Joining me.
So he just said that Russia is also a hoax. So is he talking about the collusion with Russia, which
it's been entirely proven that whether it be collusion or just interference, Russia definitely interfered with our elections. Whether it was collusion or not, they 100% provably did. And our intelligence community has been saying that to us for years now. And he's going to be like, Russia's a hoax, white nationalism is a hoax. And you've got the fucking leader of the KKK and David Duke fucking jumping up and cheering because they're like, yeah, it's not real. We're not white nationalists. We're just Americans.
you don't even know what America stands for there, bud.
It's really frustrating.
Although, I guess they do kind of know what America stands for because, like I've said before, you know, this is where America was built upon was white supremacy and, you know, slavery and all that other shit. And they feel that that's what makes them American, is that they still believe in that shit because that's what America was built on.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get into all that. That becomes like a states' rights thing when you're arguing from the white supremacist side, is where they're saying like it wasn't about owning people, it was about the economy and like how are we gonna make as much money as we were if we can't have free labor? Totally ignoring that they're enslaving people. It was more just about like, how am I gonna keep my job and my business if I don't have these people working for me?
For free.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's totally missing the entire
Christ.
point. It's crazy that we've gotten to this point in our culture and in the media where they can just blatantly say things like that. Like somebody is respected in certain circles as Tucker Carlson, even though I think he's a piece of shit.
I think he's a piece of shit.
It's crazy that he can get on Fox News on like their big time slot during the day and say that and get away with it and still keep his job.
Well, I mean, freedom of speech, though, bud.
I guess, but they fired people for worse. It's freedom of speech, but also like when you work for a company, they should be able to decide like we don't want that type of image for our company. So they got rid of like Kellyanne Conway and a bunch of people over the past few years for saying like just over the line things. Like I forget what Kellyanne Conway said, but it was something like incredibly racist, and she had to leave.
So how many of these mass shooters didn't have father figures? Do you know?
I don't
we know what
have an exact number.
The
no.
statistic is on that?
Fatherlessness is the main issue causing these shootings, guys.
Because if that's one of the things, like...
Well, the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, like Adam Lanza, he had a father who actually worked for the government. And it was I'm pretty sure they were either a weapons or like a biomedical producer for the government. So he had a fairly rich father. That's the first one that comes to mind. I know the Las Vegas shooter had a brother and like a family support structure around him, but still did that shit.
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out, man. It's like I'm trying to read real quick about Dr. Warren Farrell's Fox TV appearance, examining the reasons for mass killings in America. Let's listen to that real quick.
Okay.
Dad deprivation is common to 26 out of 27 of the mass shooters who have killed 8 or more people.
And that is where we start tonight with Dr. Warren Farrell, author of The Boy Crisis, Why Our Boys Are Struggling and What We Can Do About It. Dr. Farrell, thank you very much for being here tonight.
So they're saying that pretty much like 26 out of the 27 mass shooters are been fatherless, and it's not true, actually.
Yeah, that seems easily like debunkable. I mean,
Yeah.
This is what Snopes is for, guys. You know, like you don't.
I'm literally looking at a Snopes.
Yeah, I mean, there's other places you could check too if you don't trust Snope, like PolitiFact, or just find. The problem is people will find whatever information agrees with their viewpoint, whether it be correct or not. So,
Sung Hai Cho, George Hennard, Charles Whitman, Nadal Malik Hassan, Jeffery Wong, Aaron Alexis, James Huberly, which I can go through. Sang Ho Chow, 23-year-old who killed 32 people at Virginia Tech in 2007, was raised both by a father and mother. So was George Hennard, who killed 23 people in Luby, Texas in 1991. Charles Whitman, who killed 17 people at the University of Texas in Austin in 1966. Nadal Malik Hassan, who fatally shot 13 people at Fort Hood in 2009. Jeffery Wong, who killed 13 in 2009 in Binghamton, New York, and Aaron Alexis, who fatally shot 12 people at the Washington Navy Yard in 2013. James Huberly, who killed 21 people at a McDonald's in I don't know how to say that. Ysidro. What is that? San Ysidro neighborhood of San Diego, California in 1984, was raised by a single father and a late father and stepmother after his biological mother abandoned the family. So, straight up right there, that statistic that 26 out of the 27 deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history have come from fatherless people is not true at all.
and it's something that I'm sure they blatantly and completely disingenuously repeated on Fox News as well. Is they're at this point they're entirely a propaganda wing. So like that Tucker Carlson video I played for you is it's not just him, it's everybody on there are constantly putting out these takes that dispute reality. Like it's in the face of what's actually going on. Where they'll blatantly come out and say that video games are the main problem with gun violence. And then you see like the giant backlash that the majority of like thinking Americans had on the internet to that. Or even Trump's like initial tweets and speeches about it where he came out and blamed video games and he blamed the culture. And then got a bunch of backlash from the internet where he saw the memes like, Mario Kart turned me into a professional racer.
Right.
Yeah, like
right.
So there's this giant backlash, and then you can see in the president's rhetoric, and the way he talks about things and the way he chooses to do these press conferences, what's he really thinks or what is in his heart and just says off the cuff, and when he's reading a teleprompter. So day after the backlash, he comes out and says that we need to be unified as Americans against this violence, and we all need to come together. But you could tell that he was reading written words that somebody else wrote for him off of a teleprompter. And the times that he said that video games and that like atheists and that family values and all that stuff was to blame, that was off the top of his head. That's how he really feels.
What about all the other fucking countries that have the same fucking shit that we do? That doesn't make any sense to me. So
South Korea, gaming is giant there. I think we talked about this a little bit.
I think so in a past episode. Maybe not. I think
the South Korean video game market is comparable, like in dollar amounts, to the American video game market, and they have giant e-leagues over there too. But they've had maybe one mass shooting in the past 10 years or something crazy like that.
What do they play over there? Overwatch? 'Cause
I think so.
don't see a lot of like Korean CS:GO players.
I think it's mostly Overwatch and Fortnite and stuff like that.
Whatever.
Or Rocket League's big.
That's cool. CS:GO is still one of the best FPS. But regardless, I guess I'm gonna commit a mass shooting because I like CS:GO and I like PUBG and all this other shit.
I mean, it's not even just the president, but I feel like he's indirectly to blame here because of just everything he said in the past 3.5 years has led directly to the moment where this guy wrote a manifesto that reflects everything that the president said these past few years. Like, in the manifesto was that language of, like, it's an infestation, and Trump's been saying that lately. But it's not just him. It's even Joe Biden. He's running for president on the Democrat side, and he's kind of seen as like the Hillary equivalent, where he's just the norm. He's politics as usual, and people are going to vote for him because he's safe, I feel like. But he came out and I think he said Dallas is where the shooting happened instead of El Paso. And then Trump, same day, said that it was Toledo instead of Dayton. And
Which, I mean, let's be real here. Toledo is not the best fucking city in Ohio
but
either.
to mess that up the day of.
Oh yeah. No, trust me, that was definitely.
And then the next day, I have to read off a teleprompter because of the backlash you got.
Dumbass.
And then you've got Fox News and the equivalents of, like, Breitbart and shit like that, saying that, like, Trump's comments on it the day after are exactly what America needs, and he's bringing the country back together, and oh, what a great president.
Even though we got that shit wrong the day before.
And all the other shit he said day before off prompter. Like, it's just... I've been really mad the past week over all of this.
Listen, I have been seeing all this shit going on, and I'm like scrolling through my phone, and something that we'll get into, like with the Jeffrey Epstein and shit like that. Like,
I was gonna say, let's just get all the bad news out of the way at the top.
Yeah. So I as I'm reading through this, I'm like, fuck, man, Wes is just losing his shit right now. I know for a fact.
You should have seen my reaction, because Crystal was there when I found out that Epstein committed suicide, supposedly.
Air quote.
Yeah. Which, that's so hard to tell what actually happened there.
Wasn't he on suicide watch? I saw different things.
A week before this.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, a week and a half, 2 weeks. He had attempted, so they put him on suicide watch.
They found him like semi-conscious on the ground with red marks around his neck.
Yeah.
So they put him on suicide watch, from what I've heard, and there's no footage or anything of him like in his cell or anything like that. Like, you're on suicide watch, isn't that like?
It could have been a guard. It could have been an inmate. He could have done it himself.
Whoa. He was in another cell with another person?
At first, he was. Before they moved him to suicide watch, they had him with a cellie.
Okay, so
that's
what I'm
saying.
saying.
That's dumb to begin with.
Okay, but now if he's on suicide watch, how the fuck did he kill himself?
Somebody just lapse of attention, I guess.
Aren't you in a room that's specifically designed to keep people from committing suicide? That's the whole point, that you're on suicide. Like, they don't even give you a fucking blanket because you can hang yourself with a fucking blanket.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. So how the fuck does he kill himself if he's on suicide watch? That's bullshit.
Well, let me put my conspiracy hat on. The Clintons did it.
You think Bill Clinton did it?
The Clintons in general, yeah.
Bill Clinton even still alive?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
He's
one of those people that's like huge into this too.
Yeah, he's implicated in the whole case where he flew on the Lolita Express with Epstein from his island and back.
Yep.
So did Trump back in the 90s and 80s.
Somebody told me that there's a fucking picture out there with Trump and one of the young girls that Epstein was selling.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, there is.
Somebody find me this fucking picture. I need to see it. Like, where can I see this photo at?
Google it, man.
I tried, man.
I'll try to find it while we're talking about it. But so, like I was saying,
what keywords should I put in, man?
Trump, Epstein, young girl photo. Anyway, so I was doing my thing that I normally do on the weekends at night, where I just go down a YouTube rabbit hole. So I booted up YouTube, and I'm scrolling through my main homepage feed, and I get to the part where it's breaking news, kind of in the middle of your feed, and you can scroll sideways through it.
Mm-hmm.
Got to that part, and every single headline, Epstein dead, Epstein suicide. And I dropped everything I was doing. I turned to Crystal, who was on the couch, and went, what the fuck? Like, I almost screamed. And then she's like, what? What happened? I'm like, this fucking guy who everyone wants dead, but we really needed him alive. Like, it was super important that this guy stayed alive, and now he's gone.
Oh, I definitely did not want him dead. No.
I mean,
I didn't
there's
want him
good
dead.
reason that you should want this guy fucking murdered, but at the same time, it's more important that he stayed alive.
No, I'd rather you stay alive and we can torture you same way that you tortured all these fucking little girls for
Or
years and years. Is this
just
the
to
photo?
Yeah, that's the photo.
Okay.
Yeah, just to have him testify during all this too, like to get him in court and to make all the mistakes and have his testimony on the record so that it adds to the investigation. More information could have come out. We could have popped more people for this.
Exactly.
And I mean, there was speculation that he had documents that if he died would get destroyed, kind of like a dead hand thing, where if I die, then all these documents get destroyed, or all of them get released as kind of like a protection for his own life. So there's a bunch of conspiracies going around right now of who did it, if he did it, why would somebody do it, who's protecting who here, and none of it really makes sense. It's impossible to tell what happened right now, but it seems like foul play. It made me so mad. Like I seethed for for a good couple hours after that, and then I had to listen to Hall & Oates to calm down.
I think I saw it yesterday morning when I was working, and I went outside on a smoke break and was scrolling through my phone and saw that, like, breaking news from, like, MSNBC or something like that.
Yeah, I watched it on ABC.
Was just fucking immediately pissed. I'm like,
we had him. We had the fucker. I mean, this is the shit that, like, Pizzagate came from, where people were like, there's a global ring of pedophiles in the higher-ups of our government. Like, the most rich people, billionaires, trillionaires, the people who run everything are running these child sex trafficking rings. And that was considered a dumb conspiracy for the longest time. And now it turns out probably true. Almost entirely likely, like 98% sure that this is a real thing. And then the fucking kingpin of the whole thing is dead now.
So fucking annoying. And Trump is a part of this. The fact that, okay, my whole thing is that the fact that Trump is even somewhat accused of being a part of this, like somebody has somewhat found evidence that he could even be a part of it, just throws a fucking red flag up for me. Like I've said before, I've said this many times before, the fact that he's even somewhat being thrown into this, that could even start to be accused of being a part of this, is a huge fucking red flag.
He had to have known. I mean, he saw underage girls around this guy, and I'm sure he donated Epstein money, because Epstein, it was a self-made billionaire in the sense that he was bribing people with these criminal activities, essentially, where he was like, you can come have sex with these underage girls, but you got to remember, I know that you did. So that's how he made his money.
Give me $7 million,
He was bribing people, basically. So Trump has to have been involved at least financially in some way, and he had to have known. There's no way he didn't know. And even his comments after it came out that Epstein was arrested, he came out and said, oh, I don't like that guy. I've never been friends with him. And then it comes out he was big friends with him in the 80s and 90s.
You fucking liar.
It's been real hard not just to be, like, going off all the time about this shit.
Dude, Epstein even looks like a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. It drives me absolutely insane that people have been saying for 3.5 years that Trump is a sexual predator, and then all this happens, and he's still not impeached. I mean, all the things that we could get him for, just because of the way the judicial system is set up right now, like the Supreme Court being mostly Republican, and then you've got the head of the Department of Justice is William Barr, who we've talked about before, but he's the guy who protected Trump from the Mueller investigation, essentially. He was the guy who said you can't indict a sitting president. And that's why Mueller was unable to charge him with the collusion and the obstruction of justice that he clearly did and was laid out in the Mueller report. So then he had to come out and give a press conference saying Trump's guilty, but I can't say that. And then he had to testify in front of Congress saying Trump's guilty, but I can't say that.
Impeach him.
Yeah, it's up to Congress now.
Y'all have to fucking get him out of there and then charge him with all of this shit.
And then you've got the Democrats just pussyfooting around where like Nancy Pelosi has had to have said like, let's wait to impeach him. We got to find the right moment. And it's like, he's done so much. Just get him out. How much damage are we going to let this guy continue to do? I'm sorry that this is the episode that we go full fuck Trump, because we've beaten around the bush in the past where we've made it clear we don't like any of what's going on. But this is the episode where it's like, fuck Fox News, fuck Trump, fuck Coke Industries, fuck Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, because we were so close. We were so close. And then it was like the day that all of this shit was supposed to come out and everything else, these fucking mass shootings happened. And then people immediately switched their attention. And it's like, why are we still not talking about this major fucking sex trafficking ring that we almost busted? And now the kingpin of this shit is dead now after he was on suicide watch in a federal government facility.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up. But you know, the fucking kid that killed how many people in El Paso is still alive. He's not dead.
Yeah.
You wanna know why? Because they're protecting his ass. Which is another conspiracy that they sent him to go and do that shit.
That's what I was going to say next, is that this is all just going to continue to add to the just polarizing of both sides, where the reason there's so many conspiracy theories nowadays, the reason that people think that false flags are happening everywhere and that the shootings are all plants to either make the Republicans look bad or make the Democrats look bad or to take away your guns. All of the like fake news talk, all of the both sidesism, all of the claiming that like climate change is a hoax, all of this shit is just ramping up more and more and more because of the way people are talking about it, rather than just contemplating the facts, not jumping to any conclusions. People are constantly coming up with their own false facts, basically fake news. They're coming up with things that they completely believe in, regardless of what anybody else says. And it's just, everything's ramping up. It is both sides. There needs to be a level-headed middle ground that becomes the popular base, but that's not what's going on right now. It's really upsetting.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I can talk about this too much longer.
I'm just angry, so like maybe next week I'll have more nuanced points to have on this.
Yeah.
But I'm just mad right now.
Yeah, same. I'm mad and I'm disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take that one, fucking federal government.
Are you mad at me? No, we're just disappointed.
No, I'm both. I'm mad and disappointed. So stick that one in your fucking juice box and suck it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hard turn real quick and tell you something that I've been wanting to tell you. So I've been sober for 2 weeks now and 2 days. I've not smoked weed at all, and I've had these major urges to smoke.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I have had the most vivid fucking dreams.
Oh yeah, your dreams come back when you stop.
Holy fuck, dude. Like, I forgot what a dream was, man. I swear, dude. And I knew that I was in a dream, too. Like, I could tell I was in a dream, and I was like, I'm having fun with this shit. Okay, so my dream was that we were on, like, a cruise ship that was what are the ships with the planes on them that's got the runway on it? You know what I'm talking about.
Aircraft carrier?
Yes. It was like
what?
it was like a cruise ship that was like an aircraft carrier.
Okay.
And so my uncle, who is deceased now, was with me, and we were taking this elevator that was like, it wasn't like a real elevator. It was like weight. Like, so when you stepped onto it, it started going down.
Oh, okay.
But the moment that you stepped off, it started going back up.
Like a video game.
Yeah. So my uncle had this bright yellow bag, and I guess I had shown up late, and so we get onto this elevator and we go down, and then he forgets his bag. So I jump up and catch the platform and pull it back down and grab his bag for him and then hand it to him, and he walks off. And then I walk down these stairs and to the side of the ship, and it's just open water, and everybody that's on the ship, all the tourists, I guess, or whatever, is all on these like big circular floaty things that are just like next to the ship, and everybody's just like out in the water like having fun. And they were like, there was like jet skis, and they were like, there's like 2 of them, and like we saved one for you, so like here you go.
Hell
And
yeah.
so I hop on this jet ski, and I'm like fucking jet skiing around, like having a blast and shit like this. Like I was going underneath the water and then like coming up and like popping out like a dolphin.
Yeah.
Like just going, and like when I went underneath the water was so clear, bro. It was like fucking clear. It was like I wasn't going underneath water. It was just fucking super clear, right? So, and I've never been on a jet ski a day in my life. Okay, first of all, I'm telling you, dude, I was on a jet ski. Like I feel like I have ridden a jet ski now.
Yeah, yeah.
And like there was these fucking whales, man. Like I was jet skiing next to whales, like doing this dolphin shit. Like I got so close, and it was so fucking vivid that I got scared and was like, I'm too close. I need to fucking get away, dude. Like it was insane, man. The fucking dreams that I've had recently. I haven't had one since then, but oh my God, I couldn't, like I can't get over it. Like how vivid they were.
It would be fun to keep like a dream journal, or even if you just keep me updated on your crazy dreams that you're having while you're sober. I've been wanting to learn how to animate. So, like I showed you the JRE tunes where like they take Joe's conversations and turn them into hilarious animations.
Yeah.
You do that with your dreams. That'd be pretty fun.
Dude, that'd be fun as hell.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could find like one of our listeners or somebody that's got a little bit more like experience and with creating shit like that could help us out.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Are
Hint.
you out there?
Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Listener out there, or somebody who knows somebody.
Hey, is anybody out there? Do you want to take a quick break
Yeah.
while we're at this moment?
Meow.
All right, guys, we're back from our break.
We're back.
Sorry about all the bad vibes. We're feeling good now. We're back in the lab. We're mixing up these chemicals. We're bringing in the optimism. Oops, actually, that's the meth. But we're coming with the optimism. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me coming with all the optimism.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, shit, my bad. Hold on, I gotta go clean up.
Luckily, the Kleenexes are nearby.
Always.
Well prepared.
Do you use scented lotion?
I don't use lotion.
Oh, you just dry rub it?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I feel like somebody's had this take before, so I'm probably stealing this premise. But like, if you have like a box of Kleenex and like lotion, and you get like a whole kit ready to masturbate, you're too much time and forethought is going into your masturbating.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I can just fucking rub one out.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You do it when you need to do it. It's spontaneous.
Yeah, true. If you're like you have like a specific porn video that you watch, and you're like put it on your TV, and then you like get down into your bed and you're like all snuggled in, you got your lotion and the Kleenex, and then you're just sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, this is perfect. You light a little candle,
Yeah, somebody at work is like, hey man, you want to go drinking with us? It's Friday night. We're getting the whole gang together. We're gonna go drinking. And you're like, hold on, let me check my calendar. Sorry guys.
I can't, man.
Got plans.
What, you got some family things to do? You could say that.
If I weren't doing this and I were doing it a different way, you could say there'd be more family.
Yeah. They're like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Good. We'll keep it that way.
I want some of this meth.
Well, I was thinking about that at work. Like, I was trying to come up with like a radio announcer way to lead back into the show. And people say like back in the lab or back in the trap, and I was like mixing up these chemicals. So it just occurred to me that that sounds like an ad for a meth lab and not me leading back into the show.
Okay. So really, it wasn't Obama that was putting chemicals in the water that was turning the frogs gay. It was you.
Well, it's not turning the frogs gay. They're just party frogs.
Oh, heard. So is this like MDMA? Oh, it is meth. Okay, I get it now.
It is an amphetamine, yeah.
Okay, full circle. Full circle.
A perfect circle.
Dude, good. Don't even get me started.
Do you see new Tool album's gonna drop here soon. 20th, man.
I thought it already did.
No, they released their full catalog for streaming. So, like, you can listen to Tool albums on Apple Music or Google now, and you didn't used to be able to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the new album comes out on the 20th.
I was going to ask you if you saw the post on Facebook that I posted, but I know that you didn't see it because you're not on fucking Facebook, so I'm just going to show you on my phone.
Well, I'm signed into your Facebook, so I see.
Oh, when I post shit?
I mean, yeah.
So...
I mostly just watch the Blue Sky stuff, but...
Did you see that meme where it's like, Tool releases a new album, dude's around 40 years old, and it's a dude from Parks and Rec, like, running through the woods?
I know what you're talking about, but no, I didn't see the meme.
So
That's perfect.
One of my friends who fucking is around 40 years old was posting about Tool, and literally Matt Starr right below it posted that fucking meme.
Fucking Matt.
And I was like, this is too fucking good. So I had to post it on my fucking Facebook.
That's perfect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I like Tool, but it has been 13 years since a new album, so.
Yeah.
The new song from the single they dropped is pretty good. Fear Inoculum. It's the title of the album, too. But that song's pretty dope. It's on YouTube.
Who was it? Henry was talking about how he was still stuck in the intro to the song.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, the intro's like super fucking long. I haven't listened to it yet.
The intro is super long. It's reminiscent of like some of the older albums where they just have this really beautiful, but like you're like, get to it kind of intro. The whole song's like really interesting. It's mostly the last like 45 seconds that are really good and epic. Like it's a heavy ending to the song.
So is this a point where you could say that there's too much foreplay?
yeah, they tease the shit out of your cock the whole time. Maynard James Keenan isn't even tonguing the tip. He's just staring it down.
You're like, are you going to do something with it or what?
He's just holding it and staring into the tip.
Are you going to kiss it? Are you going to lick it? Like, what are you going to do? Just do fucking something.
Just intensely prolonged eye contact with your penis. That's the new Tool song.
Oh, God.
It's pretty good, though.
I'm not going to go and watch it because I'm definitely sexually frustrated. So that's just not going to make my life any easier.
It's such a tease.
Whew.
I wanted to revisit something. This is at the top of my list of notes that I have for this episode. Something we talked about last episode with, I'm awful. I said his name earlier. Trayshawn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Long break, guys. Guess what we did?
I didn't smoke though.
No, he's doing good.
Still clean.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
Hell yeah. Roadhouse, Pico de Gallo.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking about this nonstop since we talked about it.
Has this really bothered you that much?
It's really bothered me.
It's actually grown on me. I really like it now.
Okay, so I think I would like it. Here's the thing. It's not Pico. Yeah, it's infuriating that you call it Pico.
It on my prep list it says Roadhouse Pico de Gallo.
I mean, you're not to blame, obviously.
Okay. All right, don't kill the messenger on this one, okay? Is all I'm saying.
I mean, did you do this? Is this your fault?
No. No, it is not.
What paperwork did they make you sign?
A lot.
Well, that makes sense. That's actually a fair answer. No, it's relish. That shit is relish.
But it has more than just pickle.
It's fancy relish. It's closer to relish than it is pico. It's mostly pickle.
Yeah.
That's fucking relish. It tastes like relish from what you described it as, too, and you said you would eat it on a burger, like relish.
I have never, ever in my entire life put relish on a burger.
Or a hot dog? Would it be good on a hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's relish.
Good point.
I've been having, like, nightmares about this, man.
They put it on there, like, I can't say this. It'd be giving too much away about where I work at.
Guys, don't stalk us.
I mean, if you want to, sure, but my life's pretty fucking boring, so you're gonna get bored real quick. You're gonna Google my name one time, figure out everything about me, and be like, I don't have anything else to fucking look at here.
Oh, there's some deep dark secrets, right?
Probably.
I could find some stuff.
Can I remember them? No.
No, yeah.
I'm sure that somebody's going to bring something up, though, and be like, oh, he said this back in 2007.
I can only hope to get to that point where people are pulling up shit from, like... That's when we made it, is when we caused controversy with our past.
I've said before that, like, I feel like I made it when somebody random, like, recognizes me on the street, and they're like, oh, my God, you're Austin from Blue Skies from the Basement.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, I fucking made it, you know? But no. When some, like, shit post comes out about something I said, like, years ago, like, over a decade ago, and they're like, you're a piece of shit because you said this back then, or you did this back then. Then we've made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
I mean, I've been trying to leave little Easter eggs that people can cut out of context and get me for in the future. I'm just waiting.
Fuck it.
That's really all I had on the pico thing, though, was just, it's been haunting me, and it's not pico, and it's,
I want to make it for you. So,
I mean,
like,
I'm
you
sure
can
it's
try
good.
it. Yeah.
It sounds good.
I should bring some home for you.
That'd be easier than making it.
Yeah, well, I fucking make it at work.
Oh,
so, still have to make the shit.
Yeah. I guess that's extra steps then, bringing it home. It's technically harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my original thought was, like, making it at home. So that would be, like, even, I'd have to go out and buy all the ingredients and then do that. And that's just too much fucking work. So I'll just steal it from work. It's whatever. Hope nobody from my job listens to this, because then I'm probably going to be fired.
We do not condone stealing, or what else do we not? We don't condone Trump.
Other than that, I mean, you know, murder, things of that nature.
The obvious things.
Yeah. Just be a good person. That's all I ask. Stop being a dick.
Yeah. That's a good main theme for this episode. Is everybody just be nice, please?
Speaking of not being a dick, I don't know if I told you this or not, but fuck you.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're being nice, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're off on the right foot. What did I fucking do to you? All I do is love you.
I just thought it was funny that we were talking about not being a dick, and then I'm just gonna come out and be a dick to
Oh,
you.
well, fuck you then.
The rest of this episode. Completely contradict myself.
Go eat a dick parfait. They make those. Did you know?
I did not.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you've tried it.
It's not like I'm cursing you to anything.
You fucking faggot.
Hey, now.
Whoa, that wasn't PC.
You're an all-star. Get your game on.
Oh, yeah. You found a way to throw it in there, didn't you? You fucking found a way.
I always find a way. Life, finds a way.
Oh, God.
What else did I have for you? Columbus has some stuff going on.
Oh.
And you were more informed on one of the topics than I was, actually, but the hemp legalization is pretty cool.
Okay, so speaking about the hemp legalization, so what happened is they passed a law in Ohio for, like, farmers, or I assume anybody, but I guess it's mostly for farmers, that they are allowed to grow hemp. And hemp is anything that has a 0.3% THC level or less. So anything above 0.3% THC level is considered cannabis. So the only issue with that was that in Ohio, the crime labs do not have the equipment to test the percentage of the hemp or cannabis to see whether it is legal or not. They only have the technology to test to see if there's THC in it at all. So basically, they kind of they passed a law that just legalized all cannabis because they can't specifically tell what the percentage of THC is in the marijuana.
Yeah. It's one of those lucky coincidences or just the fact that our government or the local Columbus government didn't put the resources into technology to test for that type of thing, where it's one of those rare cases where a lack of technology worked out good for us in the end.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But the way that the article that I read was Fox News, I think.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure that it was. Yeah.
Fuck Fox News, though.
which was a little fucked up, but it did.
Oh, it's
keep me-
local Fox versus national.
Oh, it was 10 TV,
Oh, well, fuck them
which
too.
is still local shit.
10 TV Columbus, shout out.
Right. You just got shouted out on a podcast that's bigger than you.
One day. Yeah, that'll be easy. The local news doesn't get that much viewership. Comparatively.
It legalizes hemp in Ohio, giving Ohio farmers a new crop and new source of revenue. The law changes the definition of marijuana to exclude hemp based on the amount of THC, the chemical that gets you high. A THC level of 3% or less is hemp and legal. A THC level of over 3% is marijuana, still illegal in Ohio. Now we have to be able to distinguish the difference between hemp and marijuana, said Jason Pappas, vice president of the Ohio Fraternal Order of Police. That is not possible for a human being to do. That has to be done through crime analysis. The problem is most, if not all, crime labs in Ohio can only detect the presence of THC, not the quantity of it. That includes the Columbus Police Lab and BCI State Crime Lab. Until these testing requirements are fixed and until we get some additional training and resources available to us, it's going to be very difficult to go after any marijuana cases in Ohio, he said.
Also, on top of this, which that's fantastic news, just the loophole of that whole thing.
Fuck you!
Yeah, we're gaming the system in a legal way, basically. Like, they just had to pass that law. Regardless of the lack of technology. But on top of that, they're also dropping, because of all the recent passages of hemp and marijuana laws in Columbus, they're dropping pending marijuana charges.
Woo woo!
So people who are on the hook currently, there you go.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. I think we should go back to the Amish days, man. If this is what no technology gets us, imagine what we could do if we just went back to churning our own butter.
Oh, I can churn some butter. I've been practicing
I'm trying
for
to
a
be
while.
serious right now.
I still got that quagmire arm. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
that we were
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, so
You've
I
been
can
single fisting it.
I can churn some fucking butter, buddy.
I mean, if you
I
gotta
could
even
churn-
yourself out and double fist it, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, dude, I could definitely double fist some shit.
I mean, you get the butter done way quicker.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, I could do 2 at once, man. Fuck it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's a whole new method. You're talking about 2 turns at the same time. You're
Yeah.
just going hard.
Technically, I could do 3 if we're talking about using my mouth too.
No, that would just be impressive. I mean, you're that's technology in itself.
Actually,
You're innovating.
Actually, I can do 4, and I'll let your imagination run on that one.
Are there feet involved?
Nope.
I mean, because you could like double foot something, like a foot job churn. Why does this always turn sexual? Doesn't matter what we're talking about. I mean, that was even one of the intro drops on a past episode. It's like, are we talking about video games or are we talking about what are we doing here?
Blue skies from the bedroom.
Damn it. Wish I would have thought of that. It's more accurate.
Oh god.
Speaking of Amish shit, while we're on some weird sexual crazy stories, nonsense from the internet, there was a Dober-Goat fighting ring. Have you ever heard of a Dober-Goat?
Wes, I can tell you that I have never heard of a Dober-Goat.
Well, that's good, because there's a twist ending. M. Night Shyamalan wrote this headline.
Oh shit.
So I was just on Snopes, which, because of the way our politics are these days, there's 2 sides to the whole Snopes debate, whether or not they're left-leaning or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Snopes is fun.
As far as I see, they're just they're neither. They just point out facts.
They're very in the middle, and sometimes facts lean left. That's the only issue with them.
Well,
and that's not even an issue. That's just reality.
At least you're just giving me the fucking facts.
Exactly.
That's all I care about.
Sometimes reality leans left. That was, I mean, definitely mark that one.
All right.
Okay. That'll be like the finale to what I'm doing.
Oh, cool.
That'll go on the end.
No, I'll get you a better one. Just give me a few minutes.
Well, I liked the it sounded like a ghost burping kind of at the end, where it was like there was a distance to it where you're back away from the mic, but you were still right here, so
Okay.
it's pretty
All right.
impressive.
Heard enough.
Anyway, Dober-Goats. So Snopes, if you go on there, you can just randomize and it'll just feed you a random fact check. If you like Mythbusters, then you like Snopes. It's just the internet version of Mythbusters. So I was just on there randomly one night and hit clicking the randomizer button, and I got served this headline. Amish Dober-Goat fighting ring busted. On the 9th of July, 2016, the website People of Lancaster published an article reporting that police in the county had uncovered a Dober-Goat fighting ring involving Amish people and hybrid animals. Southern Regional Police busted an Amish Dober-Goat fighting ring this morning just south of Quarryville. The bust, which happened at 3 a.m., resulted in the arrest of 12 Amish men and the confiscation of more than 30 Dober-Goats.
Holy shit.
Now, let me explain what a Dober-Goat is real quick. It's a Boer goat, which is a certain breed of goat, and Doberman Pinscher. And there's this whole backstory to how those came to be.
So, what the...
Let me read the rest of this article real quick.
All right.
Confiscated 30 Dober-Goats, and then there's a quote from one of the officers here. I never seen nothing like it. There was dead and injured Dober-Goats everywhere, said SRPD officer Matt Nevins. Dober-Goats are the result of crossbreeding a Boer goat and a Doberman Pinscher, originally bred by the Amish to protect cattle and sheep. Dober-Goat fighting was popularized by Lancaster Amish in the 1980s. The look on your face is exactly how I looked while I was reading this at like 1 a.m. drunk.
What?
Right? Isn't that nuts? So imagine you didn't find this on Snopes. You found it just on the internet somewhere. Like,
I don't know if I would believe it or not.
the facts I've given you so far, we'll quote, air quote real hard, the facts I've given you so far, what do you think?
Okay. A Doberman Pinscher and a bar goat. And I think it's true.
All right. The fake backstory of the Dober-Goat.
Ah,
I was waiting for that.
Fuck.
It got me for a second, too. I don't blame you. The fake backstory of the Dober-Goat confused many social media users who wondered whether it was possible such a beast existed. However, a search restricted to a week prior to the article's appearance demonstrated that no such creature had been popularized by the Amish prior to the publication of the People of Lancaster article. Now, here's the thing. People of Lancaster sounds like a legit news place. They call themselves a legit news place. They're satire. They're like the Onion for that area. Here's the problem with this, and which is why when I hit this article on the randomizer, I made a note of it and was like, we could talk about this on the show. I think it feeds into just the way people treat facts nowadays, because people fell for this, and this is why it's on Snopes. Like, they had to debunk it. Here's the problem, though.
I wanted to see a picture. I was going to ask you if you had any pictures of, like, what a Dober-Goat looks like.
Maybe somebody made a good Photoshop, but I haven't seen one. All right, so here's a quote from the people from the website. After much deliberation at the People of Lancaster newsroom, it has been decided that the People of Lancaster will no longer be referring to itself as a satire website, and instead classify itself as a news website. This was an internal decision they made. What has led to the change is that news websites historically enjoyed a more distinguished presence on the internet with greater following and thus more advertising dollars. So they switched from calling themselves satire to calling themselves a news organization because it meant more ad money. So they're still pushing out Onion-like articles, but claiming that they're true, basically.
What else is every other news place doing?
Well, at least the Onion is upfront, like, this is fake because it's funny.
Well, yeah, at least the Onion is fucking doing that shit, but what about, like, Fox News?
This is where I was going.
Okay.
It had you for a second, right? Like,
Yeah.
you were like, what the fuck is a Dober-Goat?
I mean, I could totally believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, people have done some crazy shit. I mean...
This is why I'm saying, like, even the Amish are in this article, is we should go back to the Amish days because, like, churn and butter was real, and now satire news places are calling themselves real news organizations and putting out this shit. I mean, it's funny. It got me. It was good. I want to see a Dober-Goat.
You got me too.
Yeah.
If somebody could Photoshop what they think a Dober-Goat would look like, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I thought it was really interesting as I read through that whole thing where I saw the headline. I was like, wait, what? And then I got about to the middle, and I was like, is this real? And then Snopes is like, nah, bro, you're good. And I think it highlights the problem with everybody just being in their own bubbles and being able to, like, if you wanted to Google it, the first article that probably comes up is one that was written as if it were true. Because you can even watch videos of, like, people on daily shows or, like, like Good Morning America. This went viral, and they reacted to it. So, like, they treated it as if it was real and put it on local news in the morning for old people to watch, and then those people think Dober-Goats are real. So here we are.
Speaking of you saying for old people to watch.
Yeah.
I was talking with my manager about the gaming being called sports and how he doesn't think that it's a sport because a sport is a physical activity. So like football, baseball, soccer, like ping pong is still a sport because it's physical.
Table tennis.
Yeah.
Excuse you, sir.
My bad. Table tennis.
Fucking noob.
Fuck you. Foosball is still a sport to him.
Why?
Because it's physical. You have to move up and down the table.
It's about as much moving as playing a video game.
Nope.
What does he think about VR?
Nope.
What if you're standing and playing a video game?
Nope.
What about
Still
like
a video
DDR?
game. It should be considered a video game. Because so my whole point was that we were talking about how ESPN took off the Apex and tournament.
Yeah.
Because whatever fucking reason with the mass shootings and shit like that. And they didn't want controversy because they don't want to feel like ESPN was the reason that some other kid went out and started shooting other people.
Fucking stand by your morals, ESPN. Like,
anyways, we were talking about how there should be its own like channel, you know, and he was like it should be like the esports channel and not ESPN. He's like, I don't think it should be on ESPN.
That always makes me think of Dodgeball. The movie Dodgeball. Where,
Yeah.
like, ESPN ate the Ocho.
Yeah. Then I was like, what about poker? And he's like, I don't fucking think that poker should be on ESPN either. It's not a fucking sport. There's nothing physical about poker. And I'm like, okay, at least you can agree with that.
How does he feel about MTV? That's... He's fucking
I'll ask
more
him.
nitpicky than I am.
I will ask him. So we started talking about that, and I was like, oh, man, we should fucking start our own channel. Like, we should get our own channel and, like, try and start it. He's like, you know, Fox News started out as, like, a basement fucking thing that somebody just started, and then it ended up, you know, being what it is today.
Yeah.
I was like, we should do the same thing, and then I had to stop myself. Because it's like, who the fuck watches basic TV anymore? Old people.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know who doesn't watch gaming? Old people. So I was like, no, we should not do that because YouTube and Twitch and Mixer are all these streaming services where I can watch that shit on my phone. I can watch it. I don't have basic television, okay? You know what I have? I have Wi-Fi and a Roku.
Yeah.
And I can watch YouTube on my fucking Roku and Hulu and Netflix. So I have everything that I want to fucking watch. I don't watch basic television, and I can bet that I'm just shooting the shit here, but 90% of our generation doesn't fucking have basic television either. They don't give a shit, and it's for old people.
Yeah.
Most of the channels now are fucking reality TV shows, news, and shit TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. They gotta be so censored on there and on basic television because anybody can watch it. I mean, fuck, if you want to go into a SpongeBob marathon, I'll sit there with you all fucking day. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll watch a SpongeBob marathon with you, but I can watch that shit on whatever, on YouTube or something, dude. Like,
Yeah.
regardless. I got into this point where I was like, oh, shit. Streaming has just become, like, real big, and I figured out why I don't want basic television, because it's for old people.
Yeah, as you were telling me that story and the part where you got to, like, we should make a TV channel where it's just free, I was like,
why?
Yeah, people are already doing that, but it's not TV.
But
it's the
yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
Like, to have that idea in 2019, like, we should make a cable channel. It's like, Ooh, how old are you? That's not what we do anymore. What is this?
Oh my god.
Shout out to somebody who's been listening to the show too, by the way. This reminded me. We were talking somebody I work with, fuck it, I'll say his name. I don't know his last name, so Jesus that I work with, told him about the podcast. He's listened to almost every episode or all the episodes by now.
Shout the fuck out.
Yeah, I love you, man. That's
What's good?
super dope of you. I'm glad you like the show.
You are dope.
But we were talking about old cartoons that we used to love, and like we have a mutual love of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Nobody cares.
All right, well, skipping this point then. Fuck you, Jesus. Your thoughts don't matter. My thoughts don't matter.
Bro,
I guess we have that in common too.
Okay. Your mutual love of Courage the Cowardly Dog just makes me think that Jesus is also kind of fucked up in the head because that show is fucked up.
It is.
And it's about how a dog like perceives the world. They supposedly live out in this like barren land or
Nowhere.
whatever.
They live in nowhere.
They live in nowhere.
That's what it's called. The town is called Nowhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't really watch it. Like, I watched it, but I didn't pay attention to it that much to fucking know that shit, because you're lame, and so is Jesus.
Holy shit. I'm so sorry I shouted you out. Like, I regret it now. Oh, dude.
No, seriously, I love you, Jesus. I don't know you, but I love you, okay? Don't take this to heart. But it was about how, like, the dog only knows it's, like, the house in that world. Like, they actually live in a neighborhood, or, like, people live close to them, but because the whole world is just that house. And so, like, the people that are coming in are, like, these scary monsters and shit like that. But really, it's just, like, basic people. And that's why Miriam? Is that her name?
Muriel? The grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muriel. I said Miriam.
Yeah, Muriel.
Muriel and
Eustace.
Eustace
Bag.
don't react the same way that the dog does, because they're like, why are you freaking out right now? Like, this is just a basic person. But the dog sees it as, like, a scary... So, yeah.
It's pure childhood wonder twisted the dark way. Like, it's the reason we tell our kids scary stories about monsters in the forest is so they don't get hurt. That's the whole fucking show, is that concept just to the extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about that and how, like, with the availability of streaming media now, it's super upsetting that you can't just watch Courage the Coward. They don't even make a full set of the seasons on Blu-ray. You can't get it. They go up to like season 3 or 4 and then it stops. Same with SpongeBob, same with Ed, Edd and Eddy, same with a lot of those older like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon shows. Like, you can't get Hey Arnold on Blu-ray.
Why do you need it?
Because you can't stream it either. Because some of those shows, especially like Cartoon Network shows, aren't owned by any of the streaming platforms. So even if you wanted to watch it on like Hulu or something, there's a few shows like they just added Rocko's Modern Life to Netflix the other day.
No, there's a Cartoon Network like streaming service.
You have to have like a cable package to watch Cartoon Network shows though.
Isn't those shows on there though?
If you have cable.
Well, then just fucking get cable.
Well, that was what we were talking about, though.
Old dick.
I'm not an Amish person. I don't need cable.
I mean, if you really wanted all the seasons of fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog, there is a way to get it. What I'm saying.
But other shows that I absolutely love, like let's say, or even movies, like I own the collector's edition set of all the Alien movies, so you can get it as a full set Blu-ray copy with all the edited out stuff and the bonus features and all that shit.
Okay.
Can't do that with Ed, Edd and Eddy or Courage the Cowardly Dog. There's no like director's cut or like director's commentary or even the last few seasons. You can't get. You just have to like hope they rerun them. Yeah.
I'm sure you could find it somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure you can torrent them. I mean, that's what I was talking about with Jesus.
Get LimeWire on your fucking PC again.
Okay, so I'm gonna blow up his spot a little bit. I mentioned all this to him too. I'm arguing the devil's advocate side from his point of view because we've talked about this before, but he's younger, so like it was interesting to me that he liked the show and also like to see his perspective on the things we're talking about.
The fact that he even knew about the show in the first place.
Yeah. So I'm gonna blow up his spot a little bit. all that stuff is too much for Gen Zs or millennials or whatever the fuck a 19-year-old would be, you know?
Well, like trying to get all that shit, like it would be too
Torrenting
much work.
seems like a chore to him. And
You just download fucking FrostWire.
nope, too many steps.
Downloading FrostWire was too much of a step for you.
Well, think about how easy everything's been made for us. Where, like, if you've got Netflix, you don't have to sign in every time. You just open the app and you're signed in. Same with YouTube. If you've got your account info in there, you can kind of one and done it.
Man, this was kind of the issue I was having, because, like, with having the baby, we got behind on some money things, so I was asking my family for some help, and a lot of the shit is, like, just online, and whenever I log into it, it just automatically logs me in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, if I want my mom to help me out, and she's going to put her credit card on there, and, like, have her to go and do it.
Go
and
reset all your shit.
She's like, what's your username and password? And I'm like, fuck, I don't remember. I set that shit like 5 months ago, and then I fucking forgot about it because all I have to do is just log into it, and it automatically logs me in.
Yeah. So, like, the idea of downloading some sort of, like, peer-to-peer client so that you can download torrents and then going to a torrent, like Pirate Bay or something, and then downloading that and then letting it sit for a few hours while it downloads and then finding the folder where it downloaded into and then watching it on your PC. He just wants to watch it on his TV, through the PlayStation, preferably.
Dude, fucking figure it out.
Well, I agree.
Fucking
I think
figure
I
it
talked
out.
to him about this a little bit.
Fucking figure it out. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I made the point to him where, like, as a slightly older person, I grew up in, like, the introduction of the internet. So, like, I knew DOS commands because that's, if you wanted to play a game, you had to learn DOS.
Yeah.
That's how you installed something back in the day. So, like, if I wanted to play Diablo or the original Thief, it was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to figure out what command line is. And now it's to the point where, man, I'm sorry, Jesus. You're just an interesting person. He doesn't like to drive his car because gas takes too much time.
Like filling up his gas?
So he'll have somebody else borrow his car and make them get gas.
You son of a bitch.
This is the generation we're dealing with now.
I love you, Jesus. Work fucking smarter, not harder.
Oh, no, it's genius.
Okay.
I almost admire it.
That dude is smart as fuck, okay? I agree with that 100%. That's what my wife does to me.
Yeah, that's true. I get the same treatment from Crystal. I know the cup's right there, but can you hand it to me?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a genius, man.
I think it's cool and also kind of terrifying. We've gotten to this point where we live in Wall-E, you know, where like everybody's in the floating chairs and it just does everything for them. We're almost there, and people are just letting it happen.
I mean, it won't be our generation though.
No,
because I still enjoy doing that's like with skateboarding.
Yeah,
how the fuck are you gonna take that away?
Well, there will always be athletes. I think. Well, maybe that, I'm not going to say always, because we might move into a world where everything's virtual, and maybe there will be virtual athletes, but really you're just a fat slob sitting in a chair at home with a thing strapped to your face. But
nah, because you still got people who enjoy running and working out and shit like that enjoy the high of doing that, and you'll always have people that like to do that shit. So I don't think that it'll, I mean, who knows? Maybe with the generations as they go on, it could potentially get to that point, but right now, it wouldn't happen in our lifetime. We might see the very beginning of it start to happen with, like, fucking Jesus. But other than that...
Sorry again.
No, seriously, we love you, man. If you want to come on the podcast, you're more than welcome to.
I'll ask him about it before we release this and see if he's okay.
All right.
Us talking about him.
Right. I'm sure he'll be cool. If he's listened to every episode, he's got to be cool with it, man.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
But it does.
It's like it'd be too much work to tell you to not do that. So like, I don't care, dude. Just do whatever, man. The fact that you even asked me is inconveniencing me right now. So
I just don't have time.
It's just too much work.
Can I stream my answer to you? It's a monthly subscription. Starts at $7.99. Life is really just gonna become a fucking South Park episode. Like, I swear.
He doesn't even like physically respond to you. He just like texts you his answer, you know.
I swear, if Elon Musk really does develop that Neuralink thing, where it's like the mesh that connects your brain to the internet or whatever that he's planning on doing, we're fucked because you're just gonna think things to other people, and
I mean, I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, it's awesome. That's definitely the future, but also like
Would it be able to
If s-
put information into my brain?
if Twitter and streaming are ruining us this much already, imagine what that's gonna do. And the idea behind it is that more bandwidth. So like our brain can only process so much at a time. So if you treated it like it was a network thing, where like if you just had more capacity to deal with more information at one time, then you'd be smarter. Like you could process more.
Yeah.
So this neural mesh that he wants to implant connects your brain to the internet in a way that like you just have information at hand immediately instead of having to Google it. You can just think it and then you have the answer. More bandwidth.
That'd be cool.
It would be pretty dope.
That'd be fucking cool.
I mean, you're not even like a regular human at that point. You're something else because you have things that you didn't know that you just know now, you know?
Oh man, I'm like thinking about this. Like,
If you had that Neuralink, you
Okay.
could think about it faster.
so if I had that and I was like, what are like better CS:GO smokes for Mirage?
Yeah.
And then it just fucking clicks in my head, and now I know that information. I could literally just go into the game and like know better smokes
It's
that other people have figured out. I even have to like watch a YouTube video of like Nade King, shout out Nade King. He'll never fucking hear this ever.
shout out.
But sure. He's an awesome like CS:GO YouTuber that shows a whole bunch of different smokes and different tricks and shit like that. But like I don't even have to watch the video now. I can just think like what's a better smoke for a Mirage, and then I fucking know him now.
It's literally the thing they did in the first Matrix movie, where like they pull them out into the real world, and they're like, "This is what it's like," and then we put you back into the simulation. Now that you know what's a simulation, you can just download things into your brain. So the mechanic or whatever the fuck they call the guy who's like in charge of the computers and stuff, where
Yeah.
they put Neo back in. He's just loading him full of different like karate and jujitsu and like
Yeah.
they put them into training simulators in a simulation, and it's not real time. So like you're learning all this stuff way faster than you'd ever be able to learn it. It's the same concept.
I think I need to go back and watch The Matrix because I watched them as like a child and like I sort of got them, and now that you keep like the more and more people talk to me about The Matrix, and more I'm like, that fucking movie is ridiculous.
The first one's amazing. The other two are meh. But
Meh.
yeah.
My dad knows that movie so much that he knows where like one of the highway scenes where like the car flips over, and he's like, you can see the roll cage in the car.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
can see that like underneath the car there's like not what a normal like car would have. It's just like straight metal because it's a hollow car basically. So like he knows all of those points. I'm like, yeah, you've watched that shit way too much there, bud.
Yeah. It's a good fucking. I mean, it deserves the rewatch. It's a classic for a reason. But it all this stuff it had me thinking lately. There was a study they did on foxes where they were like trying to figure out how quick you can domesticate an animal, and what are the effects of domestication.
Mm-hmm.
So over 2-3 generations during the study, they took like wild foxes and domesticated them, and their snouts got shorter over a couple generations. Their ears went like floppy eared instead of straight pointing up. They were nicer, more friendly, and that was just a few generations. So like you can domesticate an animal in less than 100 years pretty quickly, and humans are just animals too. I think we're self-domesticating with all this stuff. Or like if you think about where we came from historically, go back a few thousand years, even 20,000 years, to where we are now, there's massive, just from how aggro our build used to be, and like our instincts and the instincts that we still have that are left over from the evolution to getting here now. I think like our ears are getting softer, our faces are getting softer, we're becoming nicer just overall.
No, we're not.
I think we are.
Nah.
I mean, if you look at the statistics, like
nah.
global crime
What do you mean?
and murder are actually down comparatively,
No.
historically.
No, I don't believe you.
This is the best time to be alive.
Nope. My whole world is in the United States. We have mass shootings almost every single day, so I don't think anybody's getting nicer.
Fuck, dude, yeah. I mean, that's a fair point. But if you look at the numbers, which it's hard to make the numbers match the feeling of reality, because you look at that and you're like, no. But there used to be a lot more killing than there is now.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
That was because, like, before, it was like, well, I'm going to kill you because I don't think that your life is anything. Like, people didn't think about another person's life as what we do now, first of all. Plus, the mortality rate was super low in the first place. And so they were like, I'm going to die by the time I'm 13 anyways.
Oh, you mean super high. Confused me there.
What?
Super high.
Did I say super low?
Yeah, it's okay. I was just confused.
Just going to eat the microphone.
Eat it.
Nom, 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 nom,
Just
nom,
eat it.
nom, nom,
But
nom,
no,
nom.
yeah, you're right. I mean,
Did a gun-toting granny shoot 2 rapist testicles off?
Oh, is this a Snopes random?
Yes, it is.
I love this shit.
False.
You didn't even read. It's just false.
I'm gonna see. All right, let's.
How long does it take for you to get to Dober-Goats?
Is this a photograph of Christine Blasey Ford's lawyer with Hillary Clinton?
This is a dark one. That's the lady who accused fuckface, the Supreme Court justice that got nominated in the past year. I don't even remember. I blocked it out because I hate the whole thing so much.
I'm not even gonna pay attention to that one. I want something funnier.
That's the dude who was like the college drinker / rapist with his best friend Squee, and they're like, I love beer. That guy, I can't Kavanaugh. Brett
Oh,
Kavanaugh.
no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
The fucking never mind. It's just gonna make me angry.
Are German police wearing chainmail to defend against refugee attacks? What do you think? True or false? Photographs show members of German special forces wearing chainmail-like protective gear, but not because of an increase in refugee stabbing attacks.
I'm gonna say that's a mixed. Like it's neither true nor false.
Ah, miscaptioned.
Ah.
What's
I was
true?
close.
Photographs show German special forces officer wearing chainmail-like protective gear in preparation for specific instances of dealing with attackers armed with stabbing or cutting weapons. What's false? This protective gear was not introduced in 2016, is not worn by all German police officers, and was not adopted to deal with an increase in stabbing attacks by refugees.
Yes, I called it. I've spent a lot of time on Snopes. So
All right, so this is a new game that we're gonna play.
I've got a good feeling for what's going on here.
Was this Time magazine's definition of a perfect body in 1955? A 1955 photograph from Time magazine purportedly depicts what was considered that era's perfect body.
False.
Good job. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find another one.
Yeah, I'm curious which one's gonna get me. I'm pretty good at these, I think.
Tarzan and Tarzana. Was the community of Tarzana, California, named after Tarzan?
I'm gonna say true because that just seems weird.
False.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, you suck.
It seemed like one of those weird things where you're like, that can't be right, but it turns out to be.
Woman almost loses leg after cutting herself shaving. Viral reports of a woman harrowing experience with a life-threatening skin infection are mostly true, but omitted some important details.
I was gonna go with true on that one too, just because it seemed outlandish
I
enough.
didn't think that in the fucking description of what they were saying, they were going to tell me it was mostly fucking true.
Some of them they do. It depends on who's writing the article. They have different people curating these.
A woman developed a life-threatening skin condition after she cut herself shaving. What's false, she did not get sick immediately, but several days later. The original story omitted the fact that the woman's immune system was already compromised.
Yeah, everything's sensationalized. That's what Snopes really teaches you, is that like the media half-assed reports things.
All right. Did the Trump administration veto Argentina's decision to honor Jimmy Carter?
I mean, I could see them doing that.
Ah, that one's unproven. That's not fair.
I could see them doing that.
Oh, well, duh.
Like, did you the whole there was a ship named after not Biden, but the guy that he hated that died, John McCain. There was a USS McCain or something like that, and they had to put a tarp over it so that he didn't see it because they knew he'd get mad during one of his press briefings where he was doing it on like this dock where the ship was. So they had a team go out there and cover up the ship's name and told him it was because they were painting it because they knew he'd throw a fucking fit if he saw McCain's name on something. Because his whole thing is Trump everything.
Ooh, see, I think you know the answer to this one. I think we talked about this before on an earlier episode that maybe was not released, actually. Were 2 black men arrested for waiting at a Starbucks?
Yeah, they were.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, that one's true.
Yes, they were.
A lot happened after that.
Yes, a lot of shit happened after that.
Starbucks just needs to stop trying to have any political views because they always mess it up. Like, they can't do anything right when it comes to that, like, social justice stuff, so just stop. Just be Starbucks.
Right. Was a hearse towed away during the middle of a funeral?
That seems like, yeah.
An image purportedly...
Oh, nope.
What is up with that word?
It's Snopes being non-biased. That's what it is. They're trying to give you like, here's what people think happened. Here's the truth.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay away from that one.
They're really good at their job.
That word, I'm gonna keep that word out of there.
That's the giveaway.
Why do I keep getting this #90 phone scam?
That's big. Phone scams are huge right now.
Keep getting that one like over and over and over again. I don't want that one.
We'll have to do we'll do an episode in the future on phone scams because I got some fun ones that have been like fully blown out of the water lately. Where like you know how the whole thing works, and they're pretty interesting.
Yeah. Mother sues tampon company for stealing daughter's virginity.
Wait, read that one to me again.
Mother sues tampon company for stealing daughter's virginity.
Only in America, but that one's probably not true. I could see that being true, but it seems a bit sensationalized.
True or false?
False.
Good job. Fake news reports an Idaho woman is suing Kotex for $1.4 million because she claims one of her daughters lost her virginity while using a tampon.
That's clever satire. That's good. Whoever wrote that shit.
That one was good. I like that one. That one was awesome. I'm gonna spend some time on this.
I told you it's fun. I probably did like 2 hours of that the other night, and that's how I found the Dober-Goat thing. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just the fun. Like Adam ruins everything. Like sometimes even if the truth hurts, it's better to know than not to know, and it can be fun to know this goofy shit.
I wonder if you'll get this one. Did Sean Spicer say we're absolutely ready for World War III under Trump?
Yes. I feel like I remember that happening. Or I read the fake news and now I believe it to be true.
False.
Spicy could have said anything, though.
On April 7, 2017, an article appearing to report the White House press secretary Sean Spicer said that he wasn't worried about starting World War III since the United States has a strong and confident leader in President Trump.
Oh, that's even worse. What he said was worse.
2 websites and whatever network. This is not a genuine quote from Sean Spicer. Newsflow is a hybrid website that publishes a mixture of factual and fictional information.
Oh, that shouldn't be allowed to be real. You can't be a hybrid. That's not okay.
No. You're either fucking satire or you're not.
That's that People Lancaster shit from earlier. Like, you can't do that.
We're sponsored by Sprite.
All right, we're guilty of fake news too. Who else are we sponsored by? Mitsubishi was one of them.
McDonald's.
We
got McDonald's money over here, bitch.
That's right.
I think that was a direct quote from you.
Well, it's also a direct quote from YMH, but keep your jeans high and tight, y'all.
Good morning, Julia.
Good morning, Julia. Just wanted to wish you good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I'm a handyman.
Everything you see in this house, everything around me, I built with these 2 hands.
I made it just for you.
This is the type of man you're going to get.
Was a man accused of ejaculating in his boss's coffee daily for 4 years?
Yes.
False.
Ah, all right. So I'm like what, half and half now?
Nope. You're wrong.
I'm like 3 for 3. I'm like 3-0 on like 6 of them. You know, I'm half and half.
No.
All right. I got a few of them right.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Had some baby duty,
I'm not sorry.
if you know what it.
Stopped him in his tracks.
Fuck you too, man.
I mean, fuck me.
I mean, what?
Huh?
Hmm?
What was that?
What?
Repeat yourself?
Hey, you're the one that said I had pretty eyes.
That was like a month ago.
So it's
You're
changed?
Still, I mean, your eyes are still pretty, but
Okay,
you're still hanging on to
okay.
like the
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
the magic from that moment is keeping you going, right?
Basically.
Okay.
Every day I'm just hoping that magic comes back.
You had a certain sparkle in your eye that night.
Hopefully one day you'll leave your wife for me, but whatever.
Shh. You don't, Crystal. She stopped listening to the show. The only other topic I had for tonight was, you know how LA is getting a hyperloop? Elon's building the from one side of the LA to the other, and you're there in like a minute.
Sure. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so it's basically like a hockey table, but for transportation. Air hockey table, but for transportation.
But it's pressurized.
Yeah, it's a vacuum inside of there.
Yeah.
So it's this giant underground tube with a sled on rails that's floating above the rails on a cushion of air that gets shot down this tube. And because it's a vacuum, you don't feel the force of it. It's a smooth ride.
There's no friction.
Yeah, exactly.
Is because of the vacuum, there's no friction. I like how I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and then I have all this information on.
You know exactly what I'm talking about?
Basically. There's no friction because there's no air. So that's why it can travel so fast.
Yeah.
And on this little floating air thing, hockey table.
Yeah, and they use magnets to slow it down and to start it up too. It's basically like a rail gun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
They're thinking about putting one in Columbus.
For what?
To get around faster?
To where?
To the other side?
So from like where we're at now.
Maybe like Columbus to Cincinnati.
I mean,
from one big city to another, you know.
It takes me 2 hours. It takes you 3 hours to get anywhere from the middle of Columbus to the outer.
Imagine it took you 3.5 minutes instead of 3 hours. You could work in Cincinnati.
No.
You could work in Cincinnati.
No. See, here's the thing. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Oh, fuck off, you fucking hippie. What's the meaning of life? The journey.
I mean, that's my point. I could work in Cincinnati, but
nah,
I
man,
could
we're
also
talking about fucking hyperloops.
I could also enjoy the 2.5 hours it takes to get to Cincinnati.
I'm just excited that there's geniuses building tunnels underground beneath us. That's all.
I know. I'm just being a dick.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I told you that I was going to be a dick the rest of this episode, so.
Well, you can munch my asshole.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
All right, so State House visitors.
As long as you take a shower. Actually, you know what? I don't care.
State House visitors. On Monday, we'll get a first look at my butthole, says the article. No, they're getting a first look at the XP-1, a prototype of munching my asshole. I can't stop now. I can't stop doing it. Fuck. You ruined me.
I made you better. I made you better. I didn't ruin you.
We can make him better. Go gadget, munch my butthole. Is that a thing?
Is this like $1 Billion Man?
We have the technology to eat the perfect ass.
Oh God! It all stemmed from 2 microphones.
Oh shit, guys. Sorry. It always ends up being about my butt. My master plan. This whole podcast is just get my ass eaten.
I almost spit my wine out.
Don't spit your wine out. That would be too bougie.
That's alcohol.
Spit take with
Abuse.
wine. That is alcohol abuse.
Yeah, it's good wine too.
Don't you abuse that wine.
It's a kit wine that my dad made. It's a black cherry. It's fucking delicious.
So good.
It is really fucking good.
Yeah.
That first sip, and you're like,
I don't even like black cherry.
Well, actually, real wine people, quote unquote, they don't drink kit wines.
Yeah.
They would, drink like real wine, quote unquote.
Oh.
Yeah.
Much my butt.
It's really sweet, and yeah. I can't drink like a Merlot or anything like that. No, it's too fucking... It tastes like cough syrup to me.
Do you even rosé? Okay, maybe that one will go at the end.
I told you, just give me a few minutes, man.
Damn it. I don't like when you're right.
I'm always right, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Yeah.
Flippy hand motion. Picture it in your head. Flippy hand. Like the gladiator shit where they do the thumbs up, thumbs down, and they kind of that.
You're right in the middle.
Yeah,
You're
Russell
like,
Crowe yourself. Jesus isn't gonna get that reference. He's too young to have seen Gladiator.
Full circle, man. Full circle. I like how this came back to fucking Jesus, dude.
I'm a bad person.
Oh, God. I really hope he doesn't think that we don't like him.
Oh, he knows. He knows what's up. It'll be okay.
Cool.
He's a cool guy.
If he even makes it to this part of the episode.
He's gonna get to the part where he shout him out and fucking shut it off. Like, the fuck is this? This slandering my good name.
The part where I'm like, you and Jesus are lame. He's like, yep, fuck that.
Courage the Cowardly what?
He's just like listening to it while he's at work, and all of a sudden he just like stops and he's just staring at you. And like, you don't realize for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden you're like, I feel like somebody's looking at you. You look up and he's just like angrily staring at you, and you're just like, what? And he just takes his headphones out, and you're like, oh, shit.
That's actually happened, not like in this context where like we were talking about him, but he's like walked past me laughing, like while we're walking out on break or something, and then he'll come back and be like, hey man, that you and that dollar at Disneyland, that shit had me dying. And I'm like, wait, what? And I have to I forget the stories I tell on the podcast, so I have to think about what happened.
What do you mean the dollar at Disneyland? How do you fucking forget that?
Well, it took me a second.
It was a traumatic experience
Yes,
for you.
it was.
Fuck the rest of your life up. I think that everything stemmed from that one moment, and you fucking forgot it? Nah.
I just wasn't sure what he was talking about because I'm not used to people.
Sure, my fucking asshole.
It was life-changing for me. I'm not going to deny that. I would have been a totally different person had that not happened.
Do you really think so?
No. No. I would have been fine.
I mean, I was trying to get real talk here. If you really do, I mean, I could see how it could, you that could be the starting point of you losing faith in the world. You're like, everything's just a fucking joke to people.
This is why I'm atheist.
Ooh.
God's not real because Disneyland when I was young.
God's not dead. No, he's alive. God's not dead. No, he's alive. God's not dead. No, he's alive. I feel him all over me. That's just a priest.
You're taking me back, man.
That was actually a song that was sang in a church.
I know.
I
was super devout Christian for a while, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was Southern Baptist.
I remember my friend who's his name was Alec, and he was the one that got me to go to home church, and he was also the person that the one time that when we were trying to get weed and thought we could get weed out this one guy, and he was on his bike, and he was like, just give me the money and I'll go get the weed for you, and then I'll come back, and then he never came back.
How great is our God? And he's
So-
just not fucking coming back.
That was also the same night where I told Alec that I didn't believe in God, and he
Yeah.
took the bowl that we had and shattered it into 1,000 pieces on the ground.
Oh, just like your faith.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I definitely didn't believe in Jesus after that shit.
Oh, that's brutal. What an insult.
But he had that song from kids singing it on his phone, and
why?
because he thought it was hilarious.
It is kind of funny
He was
looking
like,
back on it now.
Because part of the lyrics are like, I feel him in the streets, I feel him in my home, I feel him in the church, and the whole time we're just like, this sounds like a priest, sounds like a priest has been touching you everywhere, like.
He's just churning butter, man. Just double fisting some churn. That's all. Butter for Jesus.
Wes, I think you should talk to somebody.
I do. I go to therapy now.
No, you don't.
I mean, sometimes.
No, you don't.
Okay, I've gone once.
If anything, I'm your therapist, and I'm a terrible therapist to have.
This is my therapy.
And again, I'm a terrible therapist
Oh,
to
you're
have.
doing all right. What's the hourly rate again?
Well, fuck. It used to be just you smoking with me, but now that I'm fucking not smoking, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna have to start bringing some alcohol or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All
Okay,
right.
we'll even it out.
Yeah, dude. That Sam Adams Summer Ale, it's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Take that.
Another thing we don't condone. Don't drink with your therapist. That's not a healthy relationship.
I like those memes where it's like, therapist, and so what do we do when we feel this way? Me, 420 blaze it. Therapist, no. No. No.
The therapist pulls out a bong and like, try this.
I wonder. No, I don't even want to go back into that. I'm not doing it. No, it's just gonna get me super depressed again and pissed off, and I don't want to do it.
That's that's kind of how I wanted to round this whole thing out. I'm glad you kind of tiptoed around that there. I know we started off the episode angry and kind of upset and depressed about the state of things, but we're an optimistic podcast. What we're doing here is trying to just spread the joy, spread the knowledge, spread the entertainment. I mean, we're just fucking around here talking about nonsense, and we hope that by talking about these things, we could have made you laugh, could have learned a little bit, or maybe you're mad with us. But if you're mad about the state of things in the world right now, there is things you can do.
Vote.
I know we're like pissed about the state of things, but
Get with your community.
Jesus, fill up your gas tank.
Fill up your own gas tank, bruh. It'll change your life. I'm telling you.
And go vote. We all need to get out there. And it doesn't even have to be about the politics. Voting aside, just
There is a thing about doing basic tasks that seem like medial, and that like you're like, oh, this I shouldn't do this. Watching Peaky Blinders, and he becomes like this big gangster or whatever, and then at one point he goes back and he starts shoveling fucking shit and hay from the horses, and the dude that's like normally shoveling all this shit and hay is like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I'm remembering why I don't do this now,
yeah,
or why I am who I am.
yeah,
So it's like sometimes doing those like tasks and doing things the hard way reminds you of who you are and why you're a fucking human. Dude, I went on a bike ride again the other day with my wife's stepdad and got caught in the fucking rain.
yeah.
And we were halfway, 15 miles from home, got caught in a fucking storm, dude. I mean, it was lightning a little bit. We weren't too concerned, but it stormed the whole fucking way back.
Yeah.
I mean, pouring rain. I rode 15 miles. Something about that, getting caught in the rain like that, made me feel so fucking alive, and just reminded me that like I'm alive and that I can like deal with shit. Like it's like I was so afraid of rain and would always get an umbrella and everything. I'm like, oh, even just getting a little bit wet, like kind of inconveniences me or could. And now I'm like, I just fucking rode 15 miles on a bike with my head like halfway down and my eyes like up because I was getting pelted with rain in the face. And it just made me like my cheeks hurt when I got back because I was just so happy to just get caught in the rain. Like I had my phone on me, but we put it in the bag, and like I had my cigarettes on me too, and I just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm just happy to like be out and like caught in the rain, and it was just so nice. So it's like sometimes those like simple tasks, those things that seem like it's a waste of your time is not.
It's things that suck to do that when you do them, you feel better afterwards having done them. I mean, Joe Rogan talks about this a lot on his podcast when he talks about going out hunting and how, like, the experience of being out in the wilderness with no cell phone and just a couple of buddies and your equipment, you're backpacking, and you have to, like, carry out hundreds of pounds of packed out meat once you successfully hunt an animal, and, like, trudging back down a mountain through the rain or the snow and all that shit.
Right.
It's awful going through it. It's the worst. But it's the camaraderie of having gone through it and getting through it together, and also just knowing what you're capable of in the end makes you
Okay.
feel like a much better person for having done it.
Maybe a little bit something that for people that don't enjoy hunting or that don't get. Another example that I just relating to my own life is when I found out that my wife was pregnant, was getting 2 jobs. And then now we're doing, the podcast in my own apartment. So it's like I did this really shitty thing working like 80 plus hours every single week. And then to where I'm at now and having our own place and only working 1 job. Yeah, that shit sucked. But in the end, and what the outcome was, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I have a lot to take back from that. I mean, even just the conversations that I had with people on a regular basis that I worked with, like, I learned a whole bunch of shit. And then also just had really great conversations. So in the end, it made me a better person and it made me stronger. Now, did it suck while I was going through it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Do I want anybody else to do that shit? No. No.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good for you. I needed that kind of kick in the ass because now it's made me realize like that's why I'm sober. It's because I don't want to go back to working fucking 2 restaurant jobs. I just want to get clean so I can go find 1 good job where I can make some fucking bank and then do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And especially with this podcast, starting our own clothing company. Speaking of our own clothing company.
Nice pivot.
I know. You like where I went with that?
That was good.
I'm actually using my pillow right now.
Dude, those things are like well made, high quality. I was surprised because I didn't know
Yeah.
what kind of quality we were going to get using the service we're using. And then those are some nice pillows, guys.
It's really fucking nice pillow. I wouldn't suggest getting the pillow. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want to. I don't really
Get
care.
what looks good to you, what you're going to use,
Man, we got t-shirts, we got hoodies, and we just put out a new
Yeah, there's a new design up.
there's a new design up.
Yep.
So check that shit out.
I'm going to, here in the next few days, I mean, by the time this comes out, it'll already have happened, but I'm going to set that up so you can get a left chest version and a full front version if you're going to get clothing.
I want the full front version of you.
This picture is rated R for full frontal nudity and violence. Lots of buttholes.
Where was the violence?
I don't know. I'm violent in my mind. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. I might cut that out. I don't know. I agree with what you're saying, and like I said, I'm glad we got to that point of like, yeah, we started out mad, but the way I want people to look at those topics and the reason we're even talked about them to begin with is because it's important that that America is going through this right now. And it's important that we look at it in the way that this is all shitty. this all really sucks. But if we look at it the right way and we go about it the right way, we can come out better in the end. It's the same thing. Like, if we just, as a community, as a country, we come together and fucking push through this shit with determination and with optimism, we'll get through it and it'll be better in the end. That's how life works as long as you're determined enough.
First of all, if you're not upset about this Jeffrey Epstein thing, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Like,
Seeing
that
the
should-
people at the courthouse finding out, because, like, there was a whole court case happening, and the people who were, like, the accusers or the victims of this fucking guy, who are older now but were victimized as children, to find out that he's not going to go to trial now. Like, seeing interviews with those people was heartbreaking. So if you don't feel that way, I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah. I mean, you can feel however you want to fucking feel with this Trump shit, whatever. But if you're not upset about the Jeffrey Epstein thing, you're a fucked up person. Straight up.
I mean, maybe not fucked up. Maybe you're just not plugged in or care enough. But if you're paying attention, this should be just dumbfounding that this is what's going on.
You should be upset because we were close to figuring out everything, or we could have figured out everything.
And the guy would have gotten what he deserved for it.
And now he gets almost not necessarily like a get out of jail free card because the dude's fucking dead.
It's the easy way out,
But
though.
again, it is kind of the easy way out. Instead of dealing with your consequences, you just end your life and then that's it. Nothing else. And now these people that he's fucked up from a very young age have to deal with the rest of their lives knowing that he just got out. He just went out. So what are they going to do? What precedent does that set for them? Is that they've dealt with all of this shit and have tried to deal with this shit, since it's happened. And now this dude just committed suicide, quote unquote.
Who knows how that fucking happened?
Whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if he didn't want to deal with his consequences and this is how he got out of it, then what should I do? And that's not how it should be. That's how these people are going to think about it, or they could think about it. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have had to deal with that shit from the get.
I mean, all I can say is that this is the worst of the worst things that could have happened to the people involved in this case and the people who were victims of this monster. But once again, like, that terrible experience, the people who make it through it will be better and stronger people in the end, having gone through that experience. And I'm not saying that Jeffrey Epstein would have ever been a good guy if he stayed alive and went through his court case and went to trial and then went to jail for the 50 plus years.
He
would
would
always
be a piece of shit.
Always a piece of shit. But if he had not killed himself or whatever the fuck happened, conspiracy theories flying all over the place right now. But whatever actually happened, if he had stayed alive, dealt with his sentence, dealt with facing the victims of what he did, and had some sort of dignity about it, whatever shred left that kind of monster can have, that would have been a better life.
I just hope that everybody that was involved with that gets their punishment and has to deal with their consequences for their actions, and that every person that was a victim of the situation is compensated and is also taken care of mentally and physically.
Yeah, for sure.
For all of the shit that they would have to go through. And anybody that knew what was going on and condoned what was happening should have to face the consequences of their actions.
Yeah, I don't care left or right.
I don't
pop them all.
Your fucking political view or your political standpoint doesn't matter at this point.
No.
You're a piece of shit, regardless of your political view. Like, we're talking about a moral standpoint. We're not talking about a political standpoint now. We're talking about a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
That's underage women, man. I don't. It will never ever make sense to me. But I just hope that the victims of this are treated fairly and that they get what they deserve. And the fucking people that made the horrible fucking actions get what they fucking deserve.
Yeah, I wish the law worked in a way where I'm sure he has some fucked up will or last right or something where his money's going to go to whatever the fuck he wants it to after he's dead. Now that he's dead, I mean. But I wish the law worked in a way where the money went to the victims, because he was a billionaire and it was all off of this dark money that he got from basically bribing high up, super rich, super political people.
I mean,
I'm going to link to, there's
With the
donation funds and stuff. I'm going to link to that stuff in the description for this episode, just so that people know that that's out there, that there is a way to help these people given what's happened.
quick question before we go. Would there be a way for the government to be able to kind of like take his estate and like everything that he had and kind of like sell it off and be able to give to these victims and to charities that go towards victims that have dealt with the same kind of thing?
I would,
And maybe the research to help get more sex traffickers off of the map, and to go into more fighting towards catching more kingpin like Jeffrey Epstein.
I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I would really hope so. But the way, I mean, poor people have to deal with that all the time, where you get popped for a minor drug charge and you can lose your car and they'll auction it off, and you get stuck in a place where you're dealing with the court and they start garnishing your wages. Like, that'll happen to people on the lower end, but when you're dealing with somebody as high profile and as rich and with the resources, I don't know how that's gonna work in the end.
Motherfucker's dead now.
Yes, he still has lawyers that deal with the estate, and he still has family that's going to deal with the estate. So it just depends on who those people are.
You were being prosecuted, so if they would still go through with finding out everything that they like, if they still went through the process of what they would have done to take him to trial and what they can prove, and if they would take that to a jury and then let a jury decide on whether he would have been proven guilty or not, and then if he is proven guilty, being like, fuck your family.
I think the case is still going to trial.
Okay, good. Fuck the Epstein family. Like, I don't give a shit about. And if you are a part of the Epstein family, you should not be okay with this, and you should be wanting to sell his estate and to be able to help out those people. That $7 billion fucking estate, the island that he fucking...
Oh, he owned multiple mansions all over the world. That was just one of them.
It's just one of them.
Yeah.
So you should be able, like, if you were a part of that family and you didn't know what was going on, first of all, kudos to you, because you did not talk to Jeff at all.
Yeah.
There's no way that you didn't know that that shit was going on.
It's so dark, man.
I mean,
to just be around that guy, and there's no way that people didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Yeah. See, that's where I'm like, no, if it goes to trial and he would have been proven guilty, fuck the Epstein family. That shit should be taken away, and all the money that they get back from that should go towards the victims and also go towards charities that help other victims that have been a part of sex trafficking, and then also towards, police and their research to finding more sex trafficking, especially in the dark web and anywhere in the United States and globally.
Yeah.
Basically is how I feel about it.
I would really hope that would be the case, but like I said, I'm not sure. I mean, all we can do is talk about it like we are and hope that other people are as vocal about it as most people are doing right now, because everybody's outraged about this. So if we want the right thing to happen, we need to, let your voice be heard, let the government know what should happen with this, because the fact that he was allowed to commit suicide, or that there was a discrepancy in the system of watching this high-profile criminal that we should have had an eye on 24/7. The fact that somehow he's dead now is a failing of the justice system.
Yeah, for sure. But no. That's where it makes it. We've talked about this. It's a conspiracy theory, because there's no way they keep all these other motherfuckers alive that do terrible, horrible shit, but you couldn't keep this one motherfucker alive. Yeah.
Something fishy happened there.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Anyways, speaking of making your voice heard, we have a call line. If you guys want to voice your own opinion, let us know what you think on any of the subjects that we talked about today. You are more than welcome to call that. That number is
614-600-2056.
Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Blue Skies Pod. We're on Facebook. Just search Blue Skies from the Basement. We have an email, which is blueskiespodcast@gmail.com.
There's Discord links up on the Podbean page, our home base. Go check us out on Podbean. They have an app, but if you don't want that, you can use whatever podcast app you use to listen to us, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all that shit. It all works. And there's a donate link up on the main homepage, and you can find that on the Facebook, and it'll be in more places here soon. We're going to get a Venmo and a Cash App account set up too, so if you guys prefer those, it'll be easier to support the show. Help us out. The more you support the show, the longer we'll be able to keep doing this, and the more content you guys will get. I'll shout you out on the show.
Oh, fuck yeah. We're definitely going to shout you out on the show. For sure. But if you really wanted to be on the show, you can either, if you want to be a guest, there's plenty of ways you can contact us. We just gave you all the ways you can contact us if you want to be a guest on the show. We're trying to get more guests on here, more people that want to join in on the conversation. If you got something you want to talk about, or if you want to weigh in on some of the conversations that we talked about today, some of the topics, whatever, you're more than welcome to. Or you can just call us and leave a voicemail, and then we'll play it on the episode. And that's another way that you can get on if you live in, like, Canada or Argentina or Germany or some of the other places that we've had some listeners out there. By the way, if you're out of the United States and you're listening to us, kudos to you. Fucking kudos to you.
And just because I'm curious from, like, a production standpoint and, like, just advertising the show in general, how the fuck did you find us? Let me know, because I'm super curious.
Please do. Please do.
That's about it, guys, on the plugs. We're sorry to have ended on kind of a low note, but that's just how the world is sometimes, and I think it's important that we get these topics out in the open.
We've been gone for 2 weeks, and all of this shit happened within these 2 weeks.
Yeah, we took a weekend off, and the world's just gone absolutely batshit. I mean, more than usual.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of shit happened, and we just had to talk about it. And hopefully next week we got some more enlightening or hopeful shit to talk about.
I'll finally get to that Hyperloop story next week.
There we go. But first of all, we love you guys. Thank you for everybody that has supported us and that has listened to us. We can't appreciate you guys enough.
That's how we know it's time to leave.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you. I appreciate everything you did for me.
Oh, you just so sweet.
I tell you what. You done made me the prettiest motherfucker out there.
No.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
Boy, I'm gonna see a great big fat person.
All right, we love you guys. Later.
Peace. Fuck this shit.